Hey you all, this is Dr. Habib once again, and I hope you all are doing well. On popular demand of my students, I am hereby presenting a video on how to include references into a paper using first the built-in feature of Microsoft Word and then using Mendeley. So starting with the built-in feature of Microsoft Word, here is an example document. In order to include references, we click on References tab, and first we select the references style. So for example, I want to work on IEEE style of references. So I click on IEEE, and then we go to the end of the document. Click over here, click on Bibliography. We have different formats for bibliography. So for example, I want to click on this one, and we can rename it to references. We can change the format of the references as well. So I want to set it to Times New Roman, and then we can change the color of this as well, and I want it to be bold. Okay, now assume I want to add a reference over here. In order to assume I have a couple of documents opened over here. For example, I want to add this references into my Word document. So I go to References, and I already have set the format for the references, which is IEEE. So I click on Insert Citation, add a new source. And since this is a journal article, so I'm going to select journal article, and then I enter the author's last and first name. So you can see over here, here is the format for entering the author's names. So it should be like Kramer over here is the last name, and James is the first name, then D is the middle name. So you write the last name first, then comma, then the first name, and then a colon. And then you enter the information of the second author, and so on. So looking at the paper over here, and let me scroll down further. Here are our authors. So I'm going to write down the information of all these authors. Now for the first author, the last name is Ahmed and the first name is Habib. And then I enter a colon, space, then I enter the last name of the second author and then the first name of the second author. Engel, and then Zachary. And then I enter the information of the third, fourth, and fifth authors. And the final author is the wonderful William Allen Doolittle. So this completes the author's list. Then I enter the name of the title of the paper. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it over here. Then the journal name is Journal of Applied Physics. Once again, I'm just going to copy the information and paste it over here. The year is 2022. Pages, you can enter page numbers in this tab. Here is the volume number of the paper. And this paper does not have an issue number, so we are going to skip this tab. Then I click on enter. So our first the reference is added over here in IEEE format. But if we go further down to the references column, we see that it's not added over here in the references tab, right? So for that purpose, what we need to do is we need to update it. And for updating it, we go to the reference, click on the reference, click on it once again, and then click on update citations and bibliography. So now if we go to references, we see that this reference number has been added into the paper. And similarly, we can, for example, add another reference somewhere, like randomly. Like for example, I want to add reference number 2 over here. For example, I want to add this paper now. So for this purpose, I am going to go to the document and then click on insert citation once again, add new source. Once again, this is journal article, and then the authors of this paper are Habib, Jeff, Zachary, Chris. Tim Macron, and finally the wonderful William Allen Doolittle. Then we enter the title of the paper once again. Drawing paper. The journal name is Advanced Materials. Year of publishing information is going to be given somewhere down here, 2021. Pages information is given over here. Volume number is 33. And this is all the information we need in order to add this article. So this now becomes our reference number 2. And then we click on update citations and bibliography. So if you go down to the references section, you see that reference number 2 has also been added into this paper. And similarly, once you add these references for the first time, then you don't have to enter them for you don't have to enter all the information for the second time. You just click on insert citation and just add the relevant papers. Right. Okay. Now this process is a little bit exhaustive because you have to enter all the information of all the papers and the book chapters, etc., conference papers. It is also useful. It is exhaustive, but it is also useful in a sense that our second choice, for example, is Mendeley. Now Mendeley is wonderful. You can add papers using Mendeley from online sources. But then the problem is that Mendeley does not have all the relevant fields related to the papers. For example, Mendeley have all the relevant fields for a lot of articles present online. But for some papers, you might see that the volume number is missing. For other papers, you might see the publishing year is missing. For other papers, you might see the issue number, for example, is missing. For some papers, the page numbers are missing, etc. So those kind of issues. And if you are dealing with 150 papers, you might manually add that information, but once you refresh your references, then once again it goes back to its previous state, which means that you have to re-enter that information once again. There are ways to get around that, which is you make a library into Mendeley with your own sign-in account, and you manually add the missing information. And then you add it into your Microsoft Word document, and once you refresh it, it does not skip that information. But anyhow, we discussed the built-in feature of Microsoft Word for adding references, and now I'm going to open another document for adding references using Mendeley. So for example, we open this document, which is the same set of information, but in this document we are going to add references using Mendeley. Before that, I'm going to show you how to download and install Mendeley. So we click on download now for Windows. Almost done. Okay, we go to that folder and then we run the installation for Mendeley. Click on install. Yes. Mendeley is installed, but you need to make an account into Mendeley. I already have an account in Mendeley, so I'm just going to log in using my account. Okay, success, Mendeley is installed. Now we also need to include the add-in feature of Mendeley into the Microsoft Word. And for that purpose, we go to Mendeley, click on Tools, and then click on Install Mendeley Site for Microsoft Word. Click on Get It Now, and it's asking the information for your Microsoft Word account, so I'm going to enter that information. and it's asking me to verify my identity. So I'm using a text method for verification, and now I'm working kind of in a basement, and we don't have mobile network signals over here, so I have to step away for a minute in order to receive the code using text message, and then I'm gonna be back. So please stay with me for a couple of minutes. All right, I'm back and I got the code. Excuse me. So I'm going to close this document. And I'm going to open it once again. Right, so now we have the Mendeley add-in feature inserted into our Word document as well. So we click on Get Started. Excuse me. And I have to sign in into this once again. Cool. So now we are all set to insert references into our document. And for that purpose, I'm going to go to the end of the document, click over here, and then click on these three dots, and then click on Insert Bibliography. Oh, there are no citations so far in the document. So first we have to add citations into the document, and then we click on Insert Bibliography. So for example, I want to add these papers into, I want to insert the citations of these papers into my document. So I just copy the text of it, and then I enter the text into search here. Okay. First let me click on update from library. Okay. And now PN homojunction diodes, this is not added already. So what happens is that in Mendeley we actually make a library of references. I've already added a lot of references. So like for example, the references that you see over here, I've already added a lot of them into my library in Mendeley. You can see them over here. But in order to add a new reference into this library, I click on Tools and then click on Search for Articles Online. So for example, the articles that I just mentioned, realization of homojunction PN aluminum nitride diodes, I copy that and then I search for the article. I click on the article and then I add it to the library. It's asking me for sign in once again. Cool. Now it's added into the library, and we can see it in the library as well. We just copy the text. If we go to Mendeley and search for references, we enter that reference and we see it's added into the library. And once it's added into the library, we go to our Word document, click on update from library. So now if we search for the same document, we see it's added over here, and assume I want to add it at this point. So I click on this and insert one citation, and now this citation is added into the article. We can also change the citation style. For example, I want to add AIP advances. So I click on update citation style, and now the citation style is changed, as you can see over here. So then if we go to references, we go to the end of the document, the references are still not updated. So here is our reference. Click on references and then update from library. Oh, okay. Apparently, I closed this document and without saving the information. We clicked on insert bibliography before, but I forgot to save it. So here we can write references. And then set the font of the references. Right, and our references are going to be added beyond this point over here. Then we can add other references using Mendeley as well. For example, assume that I want to add references at this point. So something related to aluminum nitride, for example, we got a couple of options, more options. So I click on insert 4 citations, and these citations are now added into this document over here. And you can see these are also updated right away. So this is how you add references into your document using Mendeley. Assume I want to add another paper, this one over here. So I click on copy, and then I look for it inside the document, and we see it's not added into the library of Mendeley. So the first thing I need to do is to add it into the library of Mendeley, because this paper is not already added into the library of the Mendeley. As I already told you that I have added a lot of papers previously into the library, but whenever I need to add a new paper which is not already added into the library, I need to go to Tools and then click on Search for Articles Online. Click on Search once again. Here is the paper, add it to the library. Now if I search for this in the library of Mendeley, I can see the paper. So then I go to my paper, and then I search for this article once again. It's still, you still cannot see it. In order to see the paper updated in over here as well, I need to click on Update from Library, which basically means update from the Mendeley Library. So I click on this, and now I see the paper, and then I click on Insert Citation. And now we see that reference number 6 has also been added into this document. I've shown you 2 methods of including references into our Word document for papers purposes. The first one was using the built-in feature of Microsoft Word, and the second method is using Mendeley. And I hope this session was useful for you. Take care and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.